let's let, let's say hello.
Okay, well, let's say hello to the people in the chat room, why don't we?
Are are there people?
I see people in the chat room.
Oh my God.
Don't be upset. It's okay. You can do this. Hyperventilation is not allowed. It's not allowed. There's no heavy breathing in podcasting.
There
Well,
is now.
I'm sure there is somewhere, but this is not this.
Boy, oh my gosh. I just went for a run.
Really?
Yeah. Hi. Hi. Who that was? Hi.
Hi.
Southard. Oh, that would be Sam.
Southard.
That would be
Sam?
Sam. Sam.
Oh.
Yep. Yep. No,
Hey,
Silly
Jules,
Billy
can
is
you say
mine.
Silly Billy?
Silly Billy's mine. You can't say that.
You can't see my nails, Svensson, because I don't have them on right now. They're my real nails and they're quite ugly. So you're not going to see them unless my hand starts going woo. So yeah, I need to get them redone on Tuesday. Because I got sick my last appointment, and then I was like, oh, I'm not gonna try and reschedule this. I'll just wait until my next one because it's just a recurring every 2-week appointment thing. So
Listen, Southard, if you're going to come in and be Torrance, you got to name yourself Torrance.
I know. Start recording.
Oh, hold on a second. All right, ready?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1. Pat Crane and his compression suck.
Recording now.
Yeah.
Bitches.
Bitch.
Recording now, bitches.
I was told I can't say bitches anymore.
Really?
I can't call my audience bitches.
Oh, I wasn't calling the audience bitches. I don't know who I was calling bitches, but it wasn't the audience.
You're making me a plural bitch.
Plural? What's a plural?
Plural?
It's plural.
Regular plural?
Regular?
Regular plural?
Plural? I was doing this recording. I'm doing some voiceover stuff for a business. They're doing some videos and they asked me to do the voiceover for their videos.
You getting paid?
In product. Yeah. So it's people that I know, so it's kind of like, yeah, it's like, well, you can have some free product. And I'm like, okay. So anyway, I'm recording the script this morning and the word revenue was said twice in there. Revenue.
Yeah.
And I was having the toughest time not going revenue. And so I had to repeat it about 4 different times to be revenue. You
know what's terrible is when you start saying a word over and over again, you start thinking about it and how it doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
Like the word complain.
Yes.
Just start thinking about complain and then start breaking it apart. And it's just like, wow, what does it even mean anymore? I did that this week. I was like, what the hell? What's going on?
I had that too. The word, now, I say this word weird because it's my Midwestern affectation, is the word carry. I say it as carry.
Carry. You're right.
But it's carry.
It's not carry. It's carry.
It's carry.
No, it isn't.
But I had to say it that way in this thing. So it was like, carry this. And I'm like, we carry the world's best, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, okay. So first I recorded myself and I said, and we carry the world's best. That doesn't sound right.
It's carry. You're absolutely right. Who said that was wrong?
Well, to my ear, and I'm listening to it, sounded very Midwestern.
Well, Midwestern is the way to go when doing voiceover.
It's true. Yeah. But when it's a little too like carry, like I do it, it was like, nah. So I actually changed it to be, we carry the best. And so hopefully
that sounds weird.
I know it does sound weird.
I would fire you.
You'd fire me?
Yeah, I'd be like, what the hell is this? You can't even say the word carry right? Start yelling at you. I like yelling.
Why must you yell at me?
Because you don't say carry right.
I know. Water is funny. Water, especially in the East Coast. Did I ever tell the story of my sister who came out to visit here about the word water?
No, I don't know. Maybe.
I don't think so. Okay. So my sister came out to visit for a weekend once, and she's from New Jersey. And we went to this comedy, like an improv comedy show. And she went over to the refreshment stand and she asked them for a bottle of water. And they looked at her.
Water?
Water. Because that's how they say it in Jersey is water. And so she goes, and they go, huh? And she goes, a bottle of water. And they look at me. And I say, she wants a bottle of water. And they're like, oh, I get it. It was pretty funny. She looks at me like, what? I said that. No, you didn't.
Water.
Listen to Jersey people say this. It's water.
Water.
Yeah.
Hey, y'all. How about some water?
No, y'all does not apply to people from New Jersey, you doofus.
I'm combining everything. Because why not?
Because why not, indeed.
Because YOLO.
Oh, God. Really?
Mm-hmm.
YOLO swag.
YOLO, man.
Masha! I still laugh at that all the time.
All right.
That name still. Every time I see the name Marsha, that brings it back.
Yeah.
Brings it back up, yo.
Button.
Button.
Button. Button.
I've got to fix my hair here. My hair is looking a little funky, this swipe in the front. Let me fix this thing. These damn headphones, man, they always get in the way.
We had those custom made torrents. He has one that says
torrents.
He has one that says I love Rem. I have I love Fit, and then he sent one to Huel that says I love Resto. But we never sent one to Resto that says I love Huel.
Oh no.
Yeah.
That's better. Now I don't have the swoop in the front of my face. All right. I'm in good shape to go.
You ready?
I'm ready, but you haven't done your ritual yet, so you need to be ready.
Working up to it.
Your face is all like you smelled something bad.
I did earlier. I did. There was weird smell down here. I don't know what it was.
Did you guys leave behind last night?
I don't know. It's just a bottle of water and an empty box of Fig Newtons. No, I don't have a shock mount because I'm cheap.
Yeah, that's actually a mic sitting on his table. It's got the table rest.
I'm just typing really hard too.
Yeah, he just kind of pounds at the key.
Because YOLO.
Because YOLO. Wow, Fit's here too? Oh, Fit.
Yeah, Resto's kind of a bitch. It's true. Come on.
You good?
Okay.
All right.
Fit's here? No, I'm nervous.
Don't be nervous. I think the show topic's making you a little edgy. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about nothing. It's just us and our friends that are in the chat room. They're here to talk to us.
They're not my friends, man. They're not my friends. They don't know me.
They know you better than a lot of people do.
YOLO.
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 No.
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 Okay, ready?
I'm ready. Let's do this.
3, 2, 1. Hey, Jules.
Hey, Rem.
Hey, Jules. I've done this before. Don't feel so down. We've got a release date. It's in November. Remember when they said it would be out a lot sooner than expected.
You're listening to Tauren Think Tank, the World of Warcraft podcast for you, the World of Warcraft player.
Hey, everybody. My God, that was annoying. Good. Welcome to episode 111 of Triple T. It is August 16th of 2014. It is 10:04 in the PM on the East Coast. I am Rem. YOLO man, and that is Jules. Jules, what's up? November 13th. Looks like we got a date.
Yes, we have a date. That was really an interesting rendition of Hey Jude this time.
It's my second one on this show.
I know.
Uh-huh.
It's quite the Yeah. Oh, so yes, we have a release date finally. Quite exciting to know it finally.
Uh-huh.
Um,
We were both wrong.
we were way wrong.
I was.
You were.
Well, hold on. I wasn't way wrong.
Well, you were not right.
Well, I was 40 days away.
I was being super optimistic and saying September 23rd was the release date, and I was wrong.
Isn't it weird it's being released on a Thursday, by the way?
Yeah, and but I guess that makes a little bit of sense based on the fact that it's the week after BlizzCon ends, because there is no way they'd be able to release that have the show and then release that expansion 3 days later.
I don't know. They do lots of weird things.
Well, but it doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't. Nothing makes sense anymore. So we just have to take it. But we're thrilled we have a release date.
Yes.
At least Twitter is.
Oh.
Makes everything better.
I'm disappointed I've got to wait this long. I mean, I'll fully admit that, but okay. We know.
So you're disappointed you have to wait? I mean, you were really expecting a September release?
I really was.
Yeah?
I just had this feeling about it. I felt like it was going to hit in September, which is when Mists of Pandaria hit. And so I was disappointed that we didn't get that, that it was going to be basically like a month away versus, 3 months away. But, it is what it is. The game's not ready yet. So we wait, and I wait, and everybody else waits.
Right.
So, but I think it's going to be, obviously there's a lot that we saw with the release information, and the things that they're working on looked really, really cool. So I'm like, okay, this is worth waiting for to me.
You think so?
I thought so.
What if it's not? Will you be pissed?
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay.
I've been playing this game so long that I think at this point I'm just happy to have new content to play that I enjoy, and I've enjoyed all of it in the time frame. But here's something interesting. I went back after the cinematic was released.
Yeah.
And I went back and I watched all of the cinematics starting from the release cinematic of World of Warcraft. And because I just wanted to kind of go back and remember some of that stuff. And
Right.
what I realized is that I really just didn't have the strong feelings that I had for all of the other expansions in Mists of Pandaria. This is probably the expansion that hasn't grabbed me as much as the other ones had.
Mists or Warlords?
Mists.
Okay.
That I'm in the current, like where we are currently, all the content that we had previously was really exciting. I had great memories of it. It's been awesome. I enjoyed all the content. And I kind of realized I didn't have that same feeling about Mists of Pandaria that I did for Cataclysm and Wrath of the Lich King and all of the other stuff that I did, Burning Crusade.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and it was really a surprising revelation to me. And so I think at this point, I'm just going to be glad to be moving on from the Mists of Pandaria expansion, to be honest.
Boy, I'm kind of the opposite kind of. I remember being super excited for Mists.
Mm-hmm.
Like to the point beyond belief. I couldn't believe how excited I was for this. I was up on release day.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah, Fit and I got up at 3 a.m. Well, he got up at 3 a.m. I woke up at 4 a.m. I slept late. And we were playing right then and there. We were so excited to be playing. And then I was severely disappointed with it within a couple weeks, with all the dailies and all the stupid nonsense and the grind to get to rating and then the rush for everything. And it's just been like nonstop, full-blown head against the wall type, the way they released content in that expansion. Mm-hmm. It burned me out. And now like I'm not excited at all for Warlords. Nothing has grabbed my attention yet. Maybe some new leveling content and stuff but I'm looking at my schedule now and it's like, I don't know if I'm going to be raiding. I don't know if I can commit to it. So I'm kind of, I'm still on the fence with the Warlords thing. The cinematic was cool. If I could just be Grom or Garrosh killing things nonstop, that would be awesome because those guys are badasses and I want to be them. Lots of orcs. No gnomes. What'd you think of the cinematic?
I loved it. I
Yeah.
thought it was
It was
fantastic.
brilliant. It was. I mean, they looked real. The creatures, the orcs.
Absolutely. I mean, they've done, and if you go back and look at the previous cinematics, they've always been amazing. But this one, there was an extra level of realism, like you said, that was there.
Yeah.
And I was not disappointed that there weren't other things being shown, because this is the story of the orcs going back in time to pull back all of this history into the current day. So it's setting the stage for that. I totally got it. It made a lot of sense. And if you felt like, there was those little things like the Iron Star that gets thrown forward at Manaroth, and you're just like, oh my gosh, it's this day, it's current day stuff being pushed over to previous timeline stuff and 35 years ago, and it's so cool. And so I had fun with it. I had a lot of fun with it.
I like seeing Grum jumping through the flames with the gore howl in his hand, like doing the flying ninja punch with the axe though, and it was cool. It was really well done cinematic, and it I don't know if it got me pumped up, but I would just watch cinematics all day.
Yeah.
If that was the Warcraft movie, that would be cool.
Yeah. It was amazing for that. I was totally pumped up with all the stuff they showed as previews for what's coming. All the instances look really cool.
Mm-hmm.
All of the settings, the new worlds. I was super stoked. I tweeted this. I said, "Welcome back, Warcraft. It's been really a long time since I felt this jazzed about playing." And that's what I meant. It was like I just felt so excited. This is the stuff that I remember. This is the stuff that makes me excited. So I'm just sad I have to wait a little bit longer, but it'll be worth the wait. I'll get there.
Do you think they should have released a type of Ruby Sanctum type raid?
No.
No?
No.
How come?
Because what happens with that situation is that you get this raid content, people go, "Oh, well, that was nice. What else?" It's almost harder to do something like that. You give a step up for some additional gear, okay, but that gear is going to be outdated going into the expansion when you're leveling from 90 to 100. So I was like, I'm almost rather just them having the focus on the expansion as a whole, get it all at once, not too much, make sure that they're rolling out the raid content in a more reasonable fashion, that we don't feel rushed to get to it, that we don't feel like we have to push because there's something new coming in and we're going to be behind the curve on everything. But I was glad we didn't get something like Ruby Sanctum, because that kind of felt like a band-aid to the bigger problem.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. I totally disagree with you.
Okay. Well, why? Tell me why.
Because 14 months is too long in a raid tier.
I agree.
It'll be 14 months in November, which is ridiculous. But I mean, if they could have, they keep saying what the reason for the delay is we hired extra people, which is okay. But just a little bit of something to let the players know that they hadn't given up on the current content. Yeah. It's just a weird message that I got from them personally. I don't know about anybody else, but it was a very weird message being, going from, we'll have this expansion out sooner than you expect to, 2 years and 2 months after Mist was released. And so any type of content, any type of mini raid or something to forward the story, what happens after Garrosh goes down, just any type of something, just to give you something to do, to let you know that they still care about you playing the game.
Yeah.
That would have felt good.
Yeah. I think it would have been nice to have something. I agree. But at this point, they have recognized that the raid schedule, the content schedule, was pushed too fast, too soon. And it was a lesson hard learned, because it was a very, very fast pace. They had all this content to give us, and we were like, oh my gosh, patch already? Oh my gosh, we're not ready for another patch?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we run out of content, and they expected that Warlords would be done sooner than it has been. And I don't have a full source on this. I know that I've seen it in various places, but there has been admissions by Blizzard developers this week that they are about 6 months behind production schedule because it's taken longer than they anticipated. Mm-hmm. I appreciate that they admitted that. I appreciate that they talk about that. But And it's, they're not perfect. I understand that, and they want to make a great game for us that's going to be up to their standards. Do I agree with you that 14 months is too long to be in the same raid? Abso-effing-lutely.
Wow.
Because as a raider, I haven't been this disenchanted about raiding in a really long time because I'm just tired of it.
Yeah.
I want something new and I want something exciting. And I've been so busy with other things that I haven't been able to raid, and I haven't missed it because what am I going to do? Just grind over the same things that we've been doing for the last year?
Right.
No. So but this doesn't change my opinion of Blizzard. It doesn't change my opinion of World of Warcraft. I'm disappointed that I haven't had new content as a player, as a subscriber, but I'm still drinking the Kool-Aid.
You drink Kool-Aid.
I drink the Blizzard Kool-Aid.
Kind's your favorite? I liked Purposaurus Rex.
Just the regular red Kool-Aid, man.
Yeah.
Just go.
Can't go wrong with red. Red is a great flavor. All right, so now that we got our requisite Warcraft talk out of the way, Jules, what's going on with you this week?
We've got more Warcraft talk to do. So this week, I have been extraordinarily busy on a lot of stuff. Some of it I can't talk about right now because it's in the planning stages and I can't reveal.
Secrets.
I know. But just trust me that I say that I'm quite busy and have been very, very busy with a lot of stuff. On top of that, we've been adjusting some changes. I've talked to you a bit about my role in the Convert to Raid Guild. As an officer, as a member of the Iron Council, I have a team of people who are responsible for doing the invites for the guild. And they are called the Welcome Committee or the Greeters. They're the people who wait for people who are looking for invites. And we've had a good system up till now, and we needed to improve it. We needed it to be better. We needed a better database that would be able to get more information for us to be able to track people's alts and keep things together. Because in the rare cases where we do have to remove someone, it is very, very helpful to know how many times that person has put themselves in the guild and under what names. So we rolled out a new invite database this week, and we did a full training for our team through Google Hangout. We did all of that stuff. We rolled out the database, and it had a lot of problems. It had a lot of bugs. It had a lot of issues. Things were not working quite as intended. And so I have to give it up for my team. They have been dealing with a lot of change and a lot of adjustment. And it's frustrating and it's hard because all you want to do is do a good job. And when your product doesn't work, it's hard to follow the rules to get them into the guild. So in any case, it's just been a lot of frustration and just patience, like ultimate patience, like, the whole who moved my cheese thing, when people realize that something is different and go, oh my gosh, it's different.
Somebody move your cheese? What happened?
That whole book, Who Moved My Cheese, talking about change. It's from the 80s.
Nope.
Okay, then the right over your head. It's this book that was written, I don't even remember who it was by, but it's talking about change in workplaces and that kind of thing, about how people adapt and adjust to change and how people handle change. Some do it great. Some people just implode. And for the most part, people have been great, but it does require a lot of patience to go through change. And some people handle that in some ways that are better than others. And sometimes they let their frustration come out in different ways. And so, yeah, I got to yesterday, and I was like, I am not doing anything that does not involve me sitting in front of a computer and just zoning out. I am not working. I am not doing any projects. I am not talking to people. It was just that moment where I was like, I need a break. And that's where I've been. So again, shout out to the Greeter team and to the developers of the database. Darius and Macus have been wonderful, but it's like, just trying to fix and squash all these bugs and make it all working so everybody can invite. Hey.
Sounds like a job.
This week, it absolutely felt like a job I was not being paid for.
Wow.
Yes, it did. But we muscle through. It's what we do, and we do it for the good of this guild, of the people who want to be in the guild, and to make it a great place to be. So that's what we do.
You should all have them pay dues.
No. No.
Took you a minute to think about it.
No. I mean, the reality of that set into my brain. I said, I think I would probably just run and move to someplace like really, really remote that had no internet.
A PayPal subscription thing. Have them $1 a month. You have 80,000 people donating $1 a month. That's $87,000, and you can split that among, I don't know, what do you got? 17 officers. You split it 3 ways.
Yeah. So that's my that's what I'm doing right now.
Thought it was a good idea.
What's going on with you? It's a terrible idea. You suck.
You have to say I suck. My God. Okay, so I had an interesting thing happen to me today.
Yeah.
I thought I'd tell this story. I don't know how far it'll go, but I'm going to tell it anyways. Okay, so there's this thing on the internet. First of all, people are stupid on the internet. Second of all,
okay.
Okay, so there's the Ice Bucket Challenge. Have you heard of this?
Oh, yes. The
Okay.
ALS Ice Bucket Challenge.
All right. Do you know anything about this?
Yes.
Can you explain this to me?
Okay. So, the challenge that I understand it is that it started with somebody challenging a friend of theirs or friends of theirs, dump a bucket of ice water on your head and donate $10 to the ALS Foundation, or donate $100 to the ALS Foundation if you don't do it. And then the person who does it then goes and challenges somebody, like 3 other people. It's probably the coldest chainmail letter in history.
Okay.
And so yeah, so it's reaching far and wide. I mean, I saw Oprah did it the other day, and I'm seeing people on Facebook go nuts over it.
All right. So you're saying they donate money both ways?
I believe that the expectation is that you do it and donate $10, but I think that some people have thought that is either you do it or you donate.
That's what I thought. I thought people were doing it as an excuse to get out of donating money. So I guess now we have to trust them that they're all donating money, which I hope they are. Okay. I mean, there's better ways to raise awareness than dumping water in your head, but whatever. Okay. So I was questioning this thing all week because I saw people in my family doing this. I'm like, why are you dumping ice on your head? This looks stupid. And then I thought it was to get out of donating money to ALS, which made me really angry. Because, it's really hollow to sit there and be like, hey, you're brave and I support you. Here's a bucket of ice. I mean, but if they're donating money, cool, I don't have a problem with it. Anyways, okay. So I'm on about my rounds today. And I'm just walking along, listening to some music. And this guy comes up to me. He says, hey, man. And I'm like, what's up? And he says, I was wondering if we could ask you a favor.
Uh-huh.
I'm thinking, oh, okay, what do you got? You got a package, you got a mail out, you got something, what do you need? I'm running late, by the way. It's one of those days. And he says, my girlfriend and I, we need somebody to film our Ice Bucket ALS challenge.
So let's ask the mailman?
Yes. I said, what? He said, yeah, we need someone to hold the camera while we dump ice on our heads. I'm like, when are you going to do it? I'm not going to pass up this opportunity, right?
Yeah, seriously.
Right? So he said, we're going to be doing it in just a couple minutes. We're getting the bucket ready with water. I'm like, oh, okay, let me go deliver a couple things. I'll be right back. So I come back to them, and then there's this guy and his girlfriend standing out there, and they got one of those styrofoam coolers filled with water.
Oh, gosh, a big one?
Yeah, because they were going to do it as a couple. All right. So she says, and so I'm holding the camera. I'm like, I don't have much time, so I'll just film it and I'll go. So I said, okay, you're rolling. Then she 7 times. So I have to stop it and start it again. She's like, oh, stop it again. Stop. So it's the whole.
No.
So she was really nervous. She was sort of freaked out about it. I don't know why. So then she finally gets going. She says, hi, we're doing this, and we challenge so-and-so. And then the guy says, I'm doing it too, and we challenge so-and-so. And he dumps the ice in the water, and he picks up, they dump it over themselves. And the whole big scream, and it's funny and laughing. And I zoom in on them just as he's dumping the water off because I'm a good cameraman. That's about as far as the story goes. It was funny. I was thinking about how terrible this ALS Ice Bucket Challenge thing was. And then some guy asked me to film him doing it, and I was eager to jump on the opportunity to do so.
You were eager to watch someone else's pain in
Yes.
that way.
It was funny just watching their faces as the ice water fell on them, and they go, ah! But asking the mailman at 3:45 in the afternoon to film your Ice Bucket Challenge was interesting.
Yes, it was. But you did it for a good cause.
I did. So I mean, if they're donating money, then I don't feel bad about it.
Well, I believe the expectation is that you should donate some money if you can.
Mm-hmm.
If you can't, do the ice bucket challenge and then challenge somebody else. I mean, not everybody's got $10 to send over to ALS. I understand that. So yeah, but that's that was the expectation, is that, you donate something small if you can, $1, $5, or something like that.
Right.
So that's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Other than that, I start my vacation again this week.
Awesome. So
tonight.
do you have any specific plans?
I don't know. We haven't planned anything out yet.
Okay.
I don't know yet. I'll let you know. At some point, I'll be incessantly tweeting nonstop about nothing.
As you do.
As I do. All right. So we got anything else going on?
So not anything else from me, but we do have some things for the show tonight. We do have another taste tank coming up tonight, from Jen Morton. So we've got some things at the end of the show for that. We've got some discussion. We've got some question. We've got some tell us one thing. All that good stuff is tonight. And so we'll preface this by saying that the show might be a little bit heavier tonight in the beginning. But that's what we do.
Don't worry. We'll silly it up.
And we'll give you some silly at the end to kind of cleanse the palate.
That's why I'm here.
So let's get into the big discussion topic, shall we?
Bum, 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 bum. I'm doing it wrong. Discussions. I don't have it tonight, Jules. I'm sorry.
You don't have it tonight? It's okay.
No. I thought I was going to do something, and then it just didn't come out right, and then I just gave up. I immediately gave up.
All right, that's fine. Well, at least you didn't cough through yours like I did mine last week.
That's true.
That was kind of embarrassing.
That was funny. It's fine.
Okay, so our discussion topic tonight comes from us in the form of a letter that was sent to us from a pretty relevant, timely topic. Rem, do you want to read this one?
Dear TTT, I've struggled with depression for as long as I can remember. That being said, recently news broke out about Robin Williams. I was at work when I found out. And despite having never met the man, and not even liking all his movies, the news hit me like a truck. I couldn't focus. I was barely functional. My initial thought process was, if the funniest man alive couldn't beat this, what hope do I have? Logically, I know this doesn't make any sense, but things aren't always logical, are they? I know the best advice for someone like me is to make sure you get help and not try to fight alone. The problem, in my case, is that there aren't any places even remotely close to where I live that deal with this issue. It's still an everyday struggle. Some days are better than others, but it's still always there. I know you don't have professional training, but what advice can you give to someone in this situation when getting real help isn't a viable option? From Why So Serious, CTR Airy Peak.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what happened this week. Obviously, people know very well what happened with Robin Williams, but I think that there's a larger discussion that happens around that whole thing, which is exactly what Why So Serious said, is the someone who most people would probably not argue is one of the funniest people that has ever performed in our current day. And having the struggle with depression, he had manic depression actually, and addiction, and eventually with suicide. What chance does someone who isn't that successful have to be able to beat it? So we've all. I did a lot of thinking about this because Robin Williams was someone who impacted me in ways that I didn't even imagine until he was gone. He's always been a part of my life in everything that he performed, in the way that he did his stand-up, in the way that he did his serious roles. There was something about him that always connected. And when I heard that he was gone and how it happened, I had that same thought, is like, how in the world could someone so amazing, who had such a gift, be so broken by this? So I've done a lot of thinking about it. And first I want to ask you, Rem, have you ever felt down?
All the time.
All the time?
Not all the time. No, I have felt down, yes.
Have you ever felt like your brain you don't have a whole lot of energy to do anything? You just don't want to do anything.
There's days like that, yep.
Yeah. Has your brain ever told you that you're just worthless, that you're just not worth anything.
Rarely.
Yeah. What you have is normal in terms of the fact that everybody feels down. Everybody has depression at some point. You know, something bad happens, or things are just not going your way, or you're just not having a good time with it, not a good go at things. But with clinical depression or chronic depression, that is not, you don't just pick up and go, or it's not just put into a position when you have a situation that's bad. It just happens. Some days you wake up and you just feel like crap, and you don't want to do anything, and you don't want to get out of bed, and your brain tells you that it's not worth you getting out of bed because no one would care about you anyway if you weren't there, because your brain is a jerk when you have depression. And so I think it's very difficult for some people to relate to that, of what it would feel like to wake up in days that you had multiple days that you wake up and you just like, I just don't want to do this. I just don't want to do this today. I mean, I've had those days. Have you? Like, you just wake up and you're just like, I have no energy to do this today.
Mm-hmm.
But to have that happen to you days on end, weeks on end, months on end, or years on end, if you struggled with this for years, like Why So Serious has, you deal with this all the time. And it is horrible, and it is unfair. And what the hardest thing for me in this whole thing is the people who didn't understand how he could have done this and were like, well, why didn't he just get help? Or, I mean, it couldn't have been that bad. He had all the money in the world, and he had people's admiration across the entire world, and people laughed at his jokes, and he was always funny. How could he not be this? And it's just a matter of, things that we've talked about on the show in the past, about understanding what depression is and what it means to have depression and what it means to be sick, because that's what it is. It is a sickness, and it's horrible. And so that's one part of it. Rem, have you heard, I don't know if you saw this recently, but there is a game on Steam. It's an independent game out there. It's called Depression Quest. Did you see anybody tweeting about this recently?
I just saw that it went free.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I took the time to download it. I took the time to download the game. It is free on Steam right now. And it actually is an amazing way. It's a text-based game. It's not fun. It's not, it's just choose things and go through that. It's not a fun game. But it's a real game, and it teaches you, it puts you in the mind and the description of someone who is suffering from this debilitating kind of depression, where it is just, and it's gradual. It's like, yeah, I'm just not feeling very social today. I have a girlfriend. I'm not really feeling like going out with our friends tonight. And it gets worse, and it gets worse, and it gets worse. And the poor person who you're reading about winds up being so in the throes of depression that he doesn't even realize that he is depressed until he talks to somebody else, and they say, I think you may want to consider getting some help. I would really recommend it if you are interested in learning a little bit more about what it feels like to be depressed. But is it hard for you, Rem, to relate to the Robin Williams passing? Was it hard for you I'm curious to know what you felt when you heard the news.
I don't want to get to that question yet. I wanted to address something else, is where the writer says, if the funniest man alive can suffer this, what chance do I have?
Right.
I listen to a lot of comedy. I know a lot about many comedians. What the deep dark secret about comedy is that a lot of them have suffered problems, depression or addiction, or some of them are just very, very dark, and they use the comedy to hide from it or to cope with it. Mm-hmm. So just assuming because somebody's funny that he can't have depression or anything like that is kind of not fair, because it can happen to anybody. But a lot of times the comedians are able to manifest that into some sort of creative outlet just to help them get by.
Right.
And and a lot of times there's been many comedians who've died recently who've had struggles with depression or addiction. They just aren't able to overcome it. It's what depression's like. Neil Lennon says it's a bit like walking down a long dark corridor, never knowing when the light will go on.
Yeah.
And for someone like me who's never experienced it, it's hard to relate. It's hard to know what that feels like, and I have to remember not to judge, and not to try and say, just get over it, you'll be fine, because that's not fair. It doesn't work that way. It's not that easy. You can't just get over it. It's a battle you fight every day. If you know people who have some sort of depression, you have to try to support them and remind them as best you can. You know what? Things may not be doing so great right now, but there's a light. Stay strong. There's a light coming at the end of that tunnel, I promise. Mm-hmm. And sometimes those words just sound hollow too. So it's difficult to relate to depression for me, because I don't suffer from it.
Right. I give you so much credit, especially in the course of doing this show. From the time that you've started doing the show until today, I think that your reaction to these questions and these topics has changed a lot. Because, and I'm not trying to put you on the spot here, but I think one of the things that happens when you don't understand something is that it's so foreign that it's like there's no anchor, there's no point of reference at all for you to relate to, and so it literally just kind of goes, I got nothing. I got nothing to point to that I could say, I understand a little bit of how you feel because I've been through something similar. And I think talking about it and doing the research that we have and talking to people who have experienced it and meeting the people who listen to the show has helped us both understand it just a little bit better. So I give you a ton of credit for recognizing that even though you don't suffer from it, that there are truly things that are being suffered with it. So kudos to you for that, for certain. Have you ever dealt with someone in your life who has committed suicide? No. Okay. I have.
Yeah.
And so I wanted to tell the story of what I have been through. It was my uncle. I was 14, and it was uncle by marriage, my mom's brother-in-law. And I was 14 years old. I was not a very broody kid. I was pretty. I wasn't popular. I wasn't, but I had a pretty good time in school for the most part. I had some friends, that kept to a small circle. I had just started dating my first boyfriend at the time at 14, and my dad was the police chief of our town, and kind of the guy that everybody went to when they needed something. And my father got a call after I came home from school that day, came home from high school, and the look on his face was absolutely terrifying. When he got that phone call, his face, he went from being dad to being police chief Barry. And the look on his face was just, I'll never forget it. And he said, I have to go. And there's something wrong with your uncle, and I don't know when I'm going to be back, but your sister's coming home. Can you please just make sure that she's taken care of? Your mom is going to come home from work, and we're going to come get you. And I was like, what is going on, Dad? He said, I can't talk about it right now. And he had to go. And so he drove out. He was called because my uncle had committed suicide in a neighboring town, but because he was the police chief of our town and he was a relative, he was brought there. And my uncle had shot himself. He had suffered from alcohol addiction, depression, and he and his wife were splitting up. She was pregnant. She was 7 months pregnant. And they had another daughter who was deaf. And my grandmother, she was on an airplane going to Spain when we found out about this. My poor grandmother. And so the whole family gathered at this point. The whole family came together, and it was just this whirlwind of 3 days of absolute despair. And the lack of understanding when you're 14 years old of why someone would do this, why someone would take their own life, and that initial reaction to go, how goddamn selfish are you that you could leave our family in this huge... we were in shambles. It was absolutely horrible. But at 14, I didn't know any better. I didn't understand what it meant for someone to be so depressed and so down on themselves and feel that the only way that they could change this, and that they felt truly that this world would be better without them if they were gone, was just so foreign to me. And I think that a lot of people in this world don't ever get the chance to have that understanding, and I don't think anybody wants to have that understanding. But that experience affected me my entire life. And I will never, ever forget what it felt like to be on the other side of a family member who chose to do that. So I think that it's a moment when people hear that someone that they respect and that they trust, I think, and Robin Williams was someone who you trusted to make you laugh and entertain you, to just leave. I can see how people were going, well, how selfish is he that he just decided to just end it all and be done? But they have to understand that it is not something that they were choosing to do out of just spite or hurting somebody. They really believe, and their brains tell them when you have depression that it's better off if you're gone. I mean, if that is not a sickness, if that is not a diagnosable condition, what the hell is, Rem?
I'd like to read a quote by Stephen Fry. I had a friend of mine send a whole bunch of quotes related to depression to me. So these are pretty good. But this one is kind of related to all that. If you know someone who's depressed, please resolve never to ask them why. Depression isn't a straightforward response to a bad situation. Depression just is like the weather. Try to understand the blackness, lethargy, hopelessness, and loneliness they're going through. Be there for them when they come through the other side. It's hard to be a friend to someone who's depressed, but it is one of the kindest, noblest, and best things you will ever do.
Yes. Being a friend to someone who is depressed is a very difficult, and a partner is a very difficult thing to do, because no matter what you say, you can't say anything to make it better. It's so hard. And you have to just hope that at one point, one thing you say, the message that you try to provide to them, which is you are loved and you are cared about, and I do not want you to be in pain, is someday hopefully breaks through and they come out of the other side to say, I need help. I need professional help. I need medical help. And then you're there to help them through it. I had a friend in this past week who was desperately depressed. And I'm not going to talk about who that is because that's private. But I said to this person, and the words that were coming out of their mouth were, I can't do this. I can't do this. And I said, well, what choice do you have? And they said, I can't. And I said, yes, you can, because you have to. Because the other choices don't matter. Your brain is telling you, if it's telling you that it's time for you to go, you can't believe it. And you can't hold on to that. And I said, take one step every single day towards a positive direction, even if it's excruciating. And that could be getting out of bed, or, going and playing a note of music on a guitar, or going for a walk, or something, just something. And I'm so happy to report that this person has come back out on the other side and is feeling a little bit better and is getting help. But it is so hard to be a support system to someone who is depressed. And I get that. But it is when we care about people, you have to understand that you may not ever be able to say the right thing. The worst thing you can do is to just tell them to suck it up and walk it off. And I don't do that. But sometimes you just want to shake someone who's got depression and say, you can do this. Why can't you believe that you can do this? And it's just, depression is horrible. God, it's horrible.
It's important to, if you know somebody who is depressed, Not to ask them why they're depressed, but to offer them love and support as best you can.
Yeah.
Let them know that you're there no matter what, that even, when things aren't looking good, you still care about them and you still love them. Um, just the reassurance goes a long way. Just little words. You might not even know what they are, but little words can set someone on a better path for a little while, at the very least. But just the reassurance and the love, that is so important.
Yeah. So for Why So Serious asking us, what advice can we give to someone where real help isn't a viable option, is to my number one thing is that you need a support system that is truly a support system, and you just have to try. You just have to hope that you have. I mean, I'm really hopeful that he has somebody that is, a support, like a family member, a friend, somebody who can just be there to just kind of say, hey, can you cheer me up for just a few minutes, or to do something together, go out someplace, watch a movie together, phone call, a text message, something, just to do something. And this is really hard for me, because when you're chronically depressed, you do need help, and it's so hard to admit to needing that help. If it ever gets to the point where you feel like it just isn't worth going on anymore, there is the National Suicide Prevention Hotline, and we're going to give that number right now, which is 800-273-8255. In the absence of anybody else to talk to, these people are there to help you. But I just find it, what I've come to conclude in this whole discussion in my own head is that we are so woefully behind in treating mental illness as a true, legitimate, treatable condition. And I just find it so difficult sometimes for us, because we stigmatize it so much. If we make people uncomfortable for admitting they have depression, for feeling down and feeling like because their brain is being an absolute dickhead.
Wow, Jules.
I know, I'm using strong language here. So I think that it's very, very hard in the society that we live in, because we make, and this is another part of it. We are raised as children to be strong. Don't, walk it off. Don't let it get you down. Pick yourself back up and get on that horse and ride again if you get knocked down. We are always, in everything in life, in our lives, we are taught to embrace strength and resilience and all of this. I'm trying to come up with all the words.
I'm chomping at the bit here.
Yeah, and so you're just like fidgeting in your chair. So I understand why we're in this position. Go ahead, go. I'm rambling.
The problem with this letter is that it needed to be written in the first place. Why So Serious is emailing us, asking us what he or she can do to get help when help isn't a real option. Why isn't help a real option? Right? If he had a problem, if he went into a store and was refused a pack of gum because of the color of his skin, he could tweet his local media and everybody would be on that story in an instant. But he's depressed, he or she, I don't know if it's male or female.
It's a he. Yeah, it's a
okay. Male. But he's depressed. He can't find help anywhere. Why is that? Why is it so hard for someone to find help? I don't understand why it's so stigmatized, it's so shunned in this country. This goes back to what we talked about long ago. Why are we so scared of this? Why are we scared to help people who need the help?
Because it is not understood as something that truly requires help. Because people will say, oh, you're just down, you'll get out of it, you'll snap out of it. But a chronic clinical depression state is not something that you just snap out of. It requires treatment, therapy, and also medication. for some, because it is a chemical imbalance for some. It is something where your brain is absolutely going against its normal grain and not helping you survive. It is actively telling you to end yourself.
Yes, it affects so many millions of people, yet it's ignored. Our country, our society is scared of it, and it tells you you're not normal, so we're going to shun you and ignore you and not get you the help you need.
Yeah.
It's why So Serious shouldn't have to write us this letter. He should be able to Google something, suicide prevention, and boom, all the help he needed should be right there. But it's not, and it's sad, and it makes me angry that it has to be that way.
Right. I know. And so hopefully someday, somehow, it will change. The things that we can do today, the things that we can do at this moment, is to hopefully change someone's perspective who maybe doesn't understand what depression feels like, what it means to someone who has it, that they have maybe a bit more understanding about helping someone who does, or supporting someone who is in a state of depression. And if it's someone who is depressed and may not have the acknowledgement of it yet, or haven't really recognized the signs of it, that maybe it's time to look at getting some help, because there is help out there. And I am so devastated to hear that Why So Serious is in a position that there's just no options available. It's hard for me to understand that. I want to see if there's more options that maybe he hasn't explored. I don't know where he lives. I don't know what area he's in.
Look for online support groups, message boards, forums, that type of stuff.
Something to just talk to people. And I have said in this chat room, and we have seen this many, many times, that people from our group of people, our listeners, have reached out and talked to each other and given each other support. Friendships have been built through this community. And I know, because he said he's in CTR Airy Peak, I know there are a number of folks who are in Airy Peak who suffer from depression. And if I say to one of you guys, look for Why So Serious, it's spelled WHYSOSIRIUS, online, and just send them a message of support to let them know that you care. I can't tell you how much that would do. So these are the things that we can do at this moment to help, and hopefully to keep the dialogue going after Robin Williams has passed. That's all I can do. But I'm willing to keep doing it, because that's what we're here for.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, thanks for writing in.
This is hard. I mean, and I knew this discussion was going to go into one of about 10 different ways. And I think there's a whole lot more that we can talk about. If you've listened to this discussion and you said, guys, you totally missed something and I'd like to talk about it, we want your letters and we want your requests for discussion, and we will keep having the discussion. So it is something that we feel very strongly about on this show.
Yep. Once again, the National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is 1-800-273-8255.
Thank you guys for trusting us with this topic. And again, we welcome your feedback. So, breathing out.
I don't know how we do the segue.
Well, let's have a little bit of breather and some fun, because we're here because of a video game, right?
Hey, that's right, everybody.
And there are wonderful things about this community of video game players, isn't there?
There's one thing you need to understand about me, Jules. When I get uncomfortable, sad, or whatever, I turn things into funny. So I really want to make a whole bunch of jokes right now, but I can't because it would be totally inappropriate. But I would get them and I would feel better, but I'm not going to.
Okay, but you're doing a good job in restraining yourself. I know it's hard. I know it's hard to talk about this stuff, but it's something that, you're happy. But now it's time to have a little fun. We're okay now. We can be okay.
I can't do it. No.
What, are you afraid you're going to be in the doghouse?
Oh, wow. That was good. You don't want to be in a doghouse, you guys. Once upon a time, Jules signed a panel from Doghouse Systems.
I did.
Yes,
well, that was back in the early part of July.
That was back in the. I wonder if they've sold that computer yet.
I haven't heard yet, but I'm sure that if you ask and you really wanted another one that was signed, I bet you they would send one to me for a signature. I bet they would, because they're awesome.
Then they could send it to me for a signature, because I'd make a big signature.
You just sign it over the whole thing.
You know what I would make? an ultra signature, just like the ultra graphics you would have in that brand new Doghouse Systems when Warlords drops 11, 13, 14. That's right. It's a Thursday. It's crazy, but we're crazy too. So is Doghouse Systems. Why? Because not only are they the greatest gaming PC on the planet, when you go to their website and you choose your system and you check out and you use the code TTT, you'll get double the memory in that thing. Isn't that right, Jules?
That is right. So go and check it out, doghousesystems.com. They've got some great back-to-school specials for laptops. So if you're interested in a laptop, now is a great time. You'll get double the memory and some other cool things too. So go to doghousesystems.com, pick out your system, and do the thing with the stuff.
I think I pulled it off. You want to do some Tink Tank?
Tink Tank?
I think Tink Tank. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Tink Tank!
Tauren between options? Let Triple T help you sort it out.
And now, the Think Tank.
All right, here's a letter. We've got a long letter. Here we go. Hey, Rem and Jules. It's been a while since I've sent any letters in to you. Sadly, things haven't changed much since my first. Though it was over a year ago since I really started getting into WoW, I haven't progressed nearly as far as I'd like. Between financial struggles, trying to finish school, and serious health problems, I haven't had the time, energy, or money to dedicate to WoW. Well, as of mid-May, I have graduated college. I'm well on the way to being fully recovered from major surgery, and I finally have a paying job again. So everything keeping me from WoW is finally out of the way too. Now the biggest obstacle still standing in my way is time. I just started my first full-time job, and with traveling to and from work, I have on average 10-hour days, except one day a week where I work at my volunteer job in the evening, making for even longer days. I know I'll get used to it in time, but right now I get home every day absolutely exhausted. I feel like I don't have the energy to do anything. I don't have any friends to play with, and my boyfriend isn't currently interested in playing. Having nobody to play with or help me when I need it, it's kind of a demotivating factor in all of this. And for me, it's not as simple as just joining a random guild and talking to people. I have terrible anxiety to the point where even considering something like that makes me not want to do anything involved with WoW just to avoid how terrible the anxiety makes me feel. Basically, trying to ask complete strangers isn't an option at all. So I wonder how you guys do it. Work long days, then still have time for WoW and gaming and podcasts and everything else that you do. I know it probably helps to have other people interested in playing with you, but what do you do to have time to enjoy the game on your own? I want to be more involved in WoW so I can continue to learn the game and hopefully enjoy it as much as so many other people do. I'm very hesitant to ask for help, especially now when so many people aren't playing. But even without help, some advice would be greatly appreciated. I'm wondering if there's a way to truly enjoy playing WoW and get my money's worth. Should I start paying for a subscription again? I don't have a lot of time because of my long days. I know people make it work really well, though, so I'm wondering how you two manage it. Thanks in advance for any advice you may have, and please keep doing what you're doing. From Jen Morton. All right. So our Miss Jen is here tonight. So if we have questions, we can certainly ask her that too. But I think there's a couple things here that I see in her situation. Rem, I'm going to let you. Do you want to start on this one, or do you want me to take it?
Go for it.
You want me to? Okay.
I'm interested in what you have to say.
Okay. Well, the first thing that I see in this is that there's been a lot of change in her life. She's graduated college. It's only been since May, and now a full-time job. The adjustment to working a full-time schedule, all of that has come into play. And then there's the desire to play WoW on top of it and do that. And, and then she's comparing it to what we do and other people as well, which is we work a full-time job, we have families and kids, and we find time to play WoW, or at least one of us does, in other video games, and do things in there. And so first I want to address the concern about the exhaustion. And she's talking here in her email, and we know this from knowing her as well, is that she's been through a lot in terms of health, and surgery and recovering from a major surgery. And so I understand how difficult it is, when your body hasn't quite gotten to the point where you're fully ready with all of this energy. But that adjustment, that mental adjustment from going from full-time work or from being a full-time student to going to full-time work is kind of tough. I remember when I first started working, it was like, oh, wow, this is a big change. And as we have said in the past, right, Rem, change is hard.
What? Change is the easiest thing ever. What are you talking about?
It sucks.
It sucks.
It can suck.
Change is hard, yes.
I mean, the benefit of having a full-time job now like Jen does is it means she has money. But the sucky part is like you work all the time until you can have money, and then you wear yourself out so you can't really do the things that you want to do until you get vacation time. It kind of stinks. Life is like that for us Americans.
What does Jen want to do in the game here?
Yeah, well, I think that in this letter, there's a couple of different things. I think that she's really looking for advice from us on how to play the game and enjoy the game by herself.
Yeah.
And not feel like she's losing out on the full experience of WoW by paying for the game and not getting the full multiplayer experience.
Well, I mean, from the letter, it really doesn't sound like there's a want of the multiplayer experience. Or is there?
Yeah. Well, I think there is, but there's a reluctance to engage in it because of the fear of talking to other people. So that's part of it too. So I'm going to theorize that because she's so tired when she comes home, she's working long days, she's got a lot of things going on in her world, that going after interactions with other people takes a lot of mental and mental effort. It's sometimes even physical effort to just drop the energy to feel comfortable talking to people and not feel rejected and not feel like people are going to make fun of you or not feel like a complete drooling idiot because you tried to say something and you just totally failed. And that's a social anxiety issue. A lot of people have it, and it's very, very debilitating. So when you're in a situation where your brain is being taxed all day because you're now trying to work and deal with the pressure of going to a job and coming home and all the responsibility, that's the tough part. So, but I am actually a little bit surprised that with Jen being so active on the Twitter community and also in our chat room, that she hasn't made those bonds with people in the chat room on Twitter to join their guilds, because I think that's about the safest places that you can find.
Lim Doran in our chat room says, we're not strangers, we're just all strange.
I know.
I love that. You know what that means? That means we all have something in common. Yeah, that random guy you joined the dungeon with, you might not know who that is, but guess what? You're playing the same game. You already start off right there having something in common with them. Mm-hmm. And guess you don't need to talk to anybody in this game to be successful.
No.
There is a great single player experience waiting for you there through leveling and then the other content, like now I guess garrisons, but in the past has been pet battles and mount collecting, all the personal achievements you can do. So there's a whole single player game if you're not ready to talk to anybody. But the reach, the social anxiety, I can't speak to the social anxiety part. I don't have much experience with it because I look at these people as pixels before I get to know them.
Yeah.
All right. They don't exist to me except as characters in a video game. And if I don't want to interact with them anymore, I don't have to. There's nothing forcing me to. I hold the power. I can block somebody. I can ignore somebody. I can leave a group, or I can be friends with them. Mm-hmm. So if somebody made me uncomfortable, I'm out. Bye-bye.
Yeah. And I think that the way that I would approach this in her situation is to take out the mental pressure of getting your money's worth from a game. If you feel like this is something that you want to do, Jen, if this is the game that you want to play, and you want to work up to this situation of getting into a social group, a guild, or literally just sharing your battle tag with another person who you feel comfortable with. But I would take all of that social stuff out of it completely and just look at it as a game that you can play, that you happen to be playing with a lot of other people, because you don't ever have to partner with anybody.
Yeah.
You don't. There's so much to do in World of Warcraft as a single player that you don't have to worry about that. So maybe if you trick your brain a little bit and say, I just want to level up a character, I want to play the game, I want to learn how to do this, and if I have questions, I'll ask maybe in the comfortable places like social media or in the chat room or something like that. I'll read online and figure it out if I don't know how to play. But it takes all the social pressure out of it. As you said, there's so much you can do. Pet battles, achievements, mount collecting, all those things that you can do. Leveling up characters, leveling up professions. Now with
Daily
theirs,
grinds.
it's gonna daily grinds.
Get that nether drake.
Yes, and I think that if you take away the social aspect of it as an aspect that you feel like you have to do, it might make it a little bit easier.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, if you want to play with people, but you're scared to play with people, I don't have any advice to that other than just do it. You know, just like the Nike commercial. I have no experience with that. I don't know how to get over that. You know, take a step off the cliff and see what happens. Right?
Yeah.
What's the worst that can happen? You don't talk to that person ever again. You turn around and turn them off. So, but what I mean, what do you?
I look at it, so I can talk a little bit about it because when I play a new game, especially an MMO, I have some of this anxiety. The reason that I get so freaked out is because I don't want someone judging me for how I play. And it's gotten a whole lot better since I've been playing MMOs for about 10 years. But in the previous time, I was so not comfortable with anything, with maneuvering. I mean, I would run into walls, and thank goodness I had Kane, who would he'd laugh his face off at me.
You were about to swear.
But I was about to swear. But he would laugh at me and make fun of me, but it was just him, and it was okay because it wasn't people going, "Oh my God, you effing noob." Mm-hmm. And that was a real fear for me. And so it took me a long time to feel comfortable joining a guild and interacting with people because I felt like I was going to be judged. So what I did is I only played with people that I knew, which was my husband, and then we had Trelot, who was a real life friend, and we just partner together. And then eventually we wound up finding 2 other people that we would do dungeons with, and it was a 5-man. It was perfect. And so it was like small little baby steps to make me feel comfortable. And that helped me a ton because I just, I hate that feeling of not feeling comfortable and having people judge my behavior. Oh, I hate it. So I'll do everything I can to avoid it. And maybe that might help you, Jen, a little bit to do some of the things. If you can just say, I'm here to play. And if you run into another player, I would just remove all your chat boxes. Make it so that no one can whisper you. Set all the things that social out of it completely. Shut yourself out for a while and just enjoy the game for the game. And that may help you a little bit.
I like to, I do the thing where, I think I'm a little better than what I really am. Right.
Yeah. So you kind of get the bravado going on.
Yeah. I use it as a little bit of a defense mechanism when I'm first meeting new people. I keep the power in my own head. This is all in my head. I keep the power, right? I have the ability to block them if I want to. I also have a whole ton of awesome gear and, 3 million stamina. So I was a badass all the time. So I controlled the conversation with every group I joined. I made sure of it. But that's just me. Not everybody can do it. But just that sense of just knowing that I had the power to begin and start any conversation and to stop any judging that might have been occurring of me, I guess, that helps me with any type of contact in the game.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's a weird thing to explain.
No, it makes perfect sense.
Just pumping myself up, thinking I'm better than everybody.
That's what confidence is that a lot of times is just faking it until you make it.
Right.
That's what confidence is.
Yeah.
And when people say to me, oh my gosh, you're so confident, how do you do it? And I literally just I have this thing that I do when I'm afraid of something and I know that I want it and I haven't gone around my way to avoid it because I will do that. I will avoid stuff if I don't want to do it. But if it's that important to me and it's something that I really want to do, I will allow myself to feel the fear for about 10 seconds and really feel it. And then I will say, okay, you had your time. I'm done now.
Mm-hmm.
And I go ahead and I put my head down and I say, whatever happens, happens. I'm just going to do this because it's worth it to me to do this. That's how I handle it. I know that's not how everybody does, but that's how I do it. And it is literally faking it till I make it until, trying to do this podcast. My gosh, do you remember the days when we first started doing this podcast and how nervous we were?
Yes.
When we first came on, first get on, we would both be shaking. We would both be literally just like, I don't know if I can do this. because we were so scared. And we just did it. We just said, you know what? We want this. We want this really, really bad. And we're going to do it. And we fought through the fear and we fought through the discomfort and we did stupid stuff and laughed at each other. And then it got easier. And then it got easier. And now when we sit down, we're like, hey, how's it going? Okay, you ready? Okay,
Don't
let's go
talk to
live.
me like that. No, but you're absolutely right. How do you do something? You do it. In our case, find a fit, then do it.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, but when it came to the actual performance of the podcast and sitting down in front of the microphone, like we just, you're nervous. You're afraid that people are going to judge you. Are they going to hate what we have to talk about? And we've had that. People don't like always what we talk about. But
some guy doesn't like food tasting.
some guy doesn't like you sticking your face in your microphone in food tasting.
Wait till tonight.
I know, right? So, but I think, and Jen asked in the chat room, she said, isn't the social aspect a huge part of the game? And Fit actually replied to her and said, it's as social as you want it to be. And I think that is really, really, really sage advice. You have to take the mental pressure off of yourself, I think, Jen, and allow yourself to just enjoy. You obviously want to play this game. So just let yourself do it.
Yeah.
Let yourself do it. It's okay. And it's not going to, no small children are going to die because you didn't talk to somebody. I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen if you don't?
You're not forced at any point to interact with any other player except in dungeons or raids. And even in dungeons, things are on autopilot these days anyways. So you're just going through, doing your rotation and killing stuff. You don't have to say a single word to anybody. And like I said earlier, there's a great solo player experience to get you started here too. So, I mean, yeah, I don't have anything better to say other than just dip a toe in.
Yeah, well, and also just give yourself permission to enjoy the things that you want to enjoy with no pressure.
Mm-hmm.
Because, this is now in a situation where, Jen, it feels like you're putting pressure on yourself to do more than you're ready to do. So you can do part of it, which is play the game without being social. And if you can get over the fact that it's not, that you're not interacting with other people, and that's okay, that nobody is saying you should play WoW and talk to people, and that's not written in the contract. It's not, in order to advance your character, you don't have to talk to anybody but NPCs. That's it. and those people, you can just biff them on the head and tell them to shut up. So
there also comes the point where WoW may not be for you.
That's true.
I mean, if it's to the point where you can't even stand the thought of another person possibly thinking badly of you, who you've never met before, who's really just a pixel that doesn't exist unless you want him to exist. I mean, if you can't get past that, maybe an MMO isn't the type of game you want to play.
Not right now.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. You find something that's more enjoyable to you, like, I don't know, Minecraft.
Well, a single player RPG.
There you go.
There's so many out there. Play Mass Effect or any of the Dragon Age games.
We killed Mass Effect a couple weeks ago. Remember?
No, you can't. I told you could not. It's not permitted. But play a game where you do not feel the pressure of having any social interaction with anyone and enjoy playing for the sake of playing. That may help you a little bit.
There's lots of brilliant single player games out there.
Oh yeah. Tomb Raider, the new Tomb Raider is fantastic if you like adventure games.
Well, not everybody has a doghouse yet, Jules.
They should. No. The point is that there's so many games, and so it's an opportunity to do something like that. But
can I interrupt?
If there's something that you really want, go after it. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I don't know how long you want to keep the discussion going, but Jen says something in the chat room, says, Rem, I have that problem in every aspect of life that requires interaction, whether it's a game, job, or walking down the street. Well, okay. I don't know how much you want to get into this, Jules, but here's a thought. If you have that anxiety in every aspect, why not do something where that anxiety doesn't exist and play a single player game instead of an MMO? So you're not freaking out about this at all. So this isn't even an issue, that you can actually play a game and relax.
Yeah. And that is, I think that's perfect advice. I think it's something that if that is something that takes over everything that you do in your life, you need some kind of solace where you don't have to feel like you have to do that.
Right.
So I think that's fine. But I also feel that it's important to go after the things that you really want in life. because if you're allowing yourself to feel the fear of everything else that you want to do and holding you back, it will always feel like you never got to do anything. And so baby steps. If you really want to play WoW, there are things you can do without social interaction, and it just doesn't have to be there. But it's there when you're ready or you feel like dipping your toe in the water, and that's almost the best possible scenario. It's like you put yourself in there that you're comfortable, and that one day where you feel like you're reaching out to someone, you can, because it's there. And there's a community of people in this chat room, on Twitter, in the game, in the various guilds that people are involved in around our community. It's just making it comfortable, and it just takes one person that you feel comfortable with to make it feel better. And it doesn't. Obviously, it's not her boyfriend right now, but a friend. And if you can find that person, then I think all of this will maybe make it a little bit easier. So, yeah.
So thanks for writing in, Jen. We hope some of this has helped.
Yes.
If not all of it.
So are you ready to get into some fun? What?
Wait, we have to do this. If you guys want to write in your questions, it is questions@taurenThinkTank.com.
Okay.
Go ahead. Send us letters. Send us questions. We love taking those. The mailbox is always open. So what are we doing first? We're doing...
Tell us one thing. We'll do some talking, and then we'll do some eating.
All right. Let's do it.
We read your submissions because reading your mind would just be creepy.
Okay. You want me to start us off?
Sure.
All right. If you were to be memorialized in the game, what would be your representation and what would you be doing? I would want to be a ghost dragon, this is the writer, flying around at random times in the Grand. If you were to tag me and do a /wave, you would get a mini pet version of me to follow you around for 10 minutes. That's from Svensson, CTR Nalik.
I think that's pretty easy for me. I think that I would be the Julana the Druid sitting on a bench, and you could have a seat next to me and talk if you'd like. And if you say something to me, my cinder kitten will come and rub your legs and not burn them.
That's adorable.
Yeah, I think that's how I would want to be memorialized.
I'd be working behind a bar, pointing and laughing.
Pointing at, laughing at everything?
Whatever. Like if you waved, I'd point and laugh. You know.
Point and laugh. Yeah! Yeah, so you'd be like...
It's a sup, bro.
Sup, yo. Word, homie.
Word, homie.
That's cool. In the near future, Blizzard decides to cut character classes in half by 2 separate classes into one character. What classes would you combine, and what would their main attacks be? I.e., Death Knight and Hunter becomes a Death Hunter, and their main attack is undead pets. Thanks from Mumu Chu, Druid on Proudmoore.
I would make a Death Hunter, and their attacks would be undead pets.
That's lame. You can't steal someone else's idea. This is supposed to be what Rem would do.
I was waiting to see if you would pick up on that.
Good Lord, dude. I'm not that out of it tonight.
Okay. All right. If we were going to... Okay, this is what we'd do. We'd combine the Death Knight and the Mage just to make the Mage more awesome because mages suck. And also, their main attack would be soul bombs filled with disease.
Soul bombs?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. This is tough. I think, well, obviously, my main character of choice is the Druid. And I think I would combine the Druid with a Hunter because they typically have that kind of nature aspect. So the Druid would be able to shoot arrows or guns and have a lot of abilities with a pet that ran out and kill things. But the main attack for a Druid Hunter, or a Hunter Druid, Hunter Druid, is that what we call it?
Hrood.
A Hrood.
Hrood.
I would say, let's say, an arcane arrow that so you shoot an arrow at something and then it puts the pool of light after it hits them right through the chest.
A healing arrow?
No,
A killing arrow.
an arcane like a like the Moonfire stuff.
Oh, okay. So moon
Yeah.
arrow.
Moon arrow. Yeah.
Yeah. Hell yeah. And just blow up their chest like
Chief Bolton got it right. It's a drunter.
drunter.
It's a hunter druid. It's a drunter.
Like that.
You guys rock. I love you.
Yes. From one Jason Blue, what class would you consider playing other than your main for Warlords? Me, it'd be a rogue over a feral druid.
Okay, so what class would I consider playing other than my main? I think I would consider playing a paladin for this, a healing paladin, holy paladin. I miss my paladin, but I've had so much fun with my druid and I enjoy that healing style. So, but the paladin would do that.
I would play a monk.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Would you be DPS or tank?
Both.
Okay. Dual spec?
Yeah.
Because you can.
Because I can. Yeah, totally.
Awesome.
Yep.
From Muzzy AIE, what's your go-to snack for release day gaming?
Pretzels.
Pretzels and Gatorade anymore?
I haven't had much Gatorade lately because all the sugar.
Yeah.
So it's been more water. But boy, I had a Gatorade a couple weeks ago. It was delicious. And Fitz got me hooked on energy drinks again. None tonight.
Yes.
I had to drink one this morning because we were up late last night.
Uh-huh.
But no, pretzels are my go-to snack all the time because they're dry and not greasy at all. So
And you don't. Do you have problems though getting all the crumbs in your keyboard?
Well, no, I don't munch over my keyboard, Jules.
But you do like the big pretzel rods, so you're biting into them.
No, I don't do pretzel rods anymore. Don't you pay attention?
No?
Mini twists.
Oh, so you just, pop the whole thing in your mouth.
I
and you're
grab two, pop them in, crunch, nice and salty. We're good to go.
good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I don't eat a lot at the computer. I think it would probably be like a little ice cream cone or something would be for release day gaming. But I don't keep a bag of anything by the computer.
How are you going to eat an ice cream cone while you're leveling, Jules?
One-handed.
Are you a...
There's such a thing as auto run.
Jules.
I know. I do auto run.
Jules.
It's pretty fun.
And you turn with your keyboard too, right?
No, with my mouse.
Noob.
With
You're
my
lying
mouse.
to me.
I don't know. I don't have snacks in my keyboard most of the time. It's just part of the thing. I don't do it.
You're better off. You don't want to spill
Yeah.
anything.
I don't want to spill anything. I
No.
don't. So
From Lord Melvin, does the excitement of the trailer make up for all the QQs, release delay, no flying, reality choppers, sexist comments?
this is a loaded question. All of that is what it is. I mean, it would have happened anyway had we had an expansion.
Was it really a sexist comment? Come on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to get into that.
The answer is no. It does not make up for all the QQs. The trailer is cool. It does not make up for the release delay, which is the biggest QQ.
Well, I just feel like the excitement of the trailer is awesome, but I knew what was going to happen. I knew that we were going to be excited for about 36 hours or so, and then we'd get back to reality and say, oh, yeah, we've got to wait until November and after BlizzCon. And so, I mean, I literally just realized, I'm like, I have all the things to do for BlizzCon and then to go to BlizzCon.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that is when I get the expansion. And so it's a weird thing. It's like this.
That's so weird. You go to BlizzCon before the expansion's released.
Yeah.
What are they going to announce?
Well, that's the other thing I've been asking. So this question is kind of loaded, Lord Melvin, and I don't really feel comfortable answering, does the trailer make up for all the QQs?
Don't worry, I
have
answered it
issues,
for
but
you.
yeah, people have their issues with everything. So yeah.
Yes, sir.
All right, from Will Seiler, the release date for 7.0. Yes, 7.0, he says.
Okay, so this one will be 26 months after.
Yep.
Okay, so 28 months after will be, so 14, so 15, 16, 17. So January 2017.
January 2017.
Yeah.
I mean, it makes sense that it would be about 2.5 years, roughly. Probably.
That would be ridiculous.
Well, but let's hope that the release schedule of the content for this expansion is staggered around that 2.5 years so that it doesn't feel like that.
Will Seiler, why are we already thinking about the next expansion, though? Come on. We have
because
one
that
coming
is
in.
decidedly American.
Oh, that's right.
we got something, and so we need to think about what else we could get.
And remember, Captain America is awesome, no matter what Fitz says. Mm-hmm. From Sergeant. Oh, you got to pick a date. I'm sorry.
Let's say we'll say 2016. We'll say September 2016.
September. So you're going less than 2 years.
Yes.
Okay, good for you. Proud of you for being so optimistic.
I'm always optimistic.
From Sergeant Zim, what would Warlord's release date be if there were no BlizzCon?
Why are you people doing this to us? I don't know. September 23rd. That's what I would have had it on there.
No. This is easy.
What?
BlizzCon is the 7th and 8th of November?
Yes.
Okay, it would have been November 4th, Election Day.
November 4th.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That
Yep.
sounds good.
Mhm.
Oh no, you have to read this one. It's Chief Golden.
From the War Chief, Chief Vol'jin, what was the one thing you Jew were hoping to see in that cinematic, which we did not?
I didn't miss anything. This is another thing I'm having a hard time with is like I didn't expect anything from the cinematic except that it would be amazing and tell the story of what this expansion is going to be.
You know what I was missing? The Alliance fist bump moment.
The Alliance fist bump moment. Okay, I will say one thing. I think that it would have been a little bit more. For me, I didn't capture exactly. I had to go back afterwards and ask people, okay, who was who and where, because I didn't have all of the
Noob.
history. Yeah, I'm a total noob. But I needed to know. I'm like, oh, that was Manaroth. And we knew that it was Gul'dan because he said it was Gul'dan. And then it was, and then the guy who was about to drink the bad stuff.
That's Grom.
That was Grom Hellscream, right?
Yeah.
And that's, so that's Garrosh's daddy.
Yeah, and then the dude in the hood was Garrosh.
But then you didn't, people knew that, but I was just like, oh, this is really cool. I don't know who any of these people are. And then, because I didn't follow the lore at the time.
Don't worry, you don't need to. It's all new. They're making it all up now. It's an alternate timeline.
But then people explained it to me, and I was like, oh, I get it.
At the end of the day, none of this is going to have ever happened.
Well, that's true. So, yeah, that was what I was. That's I guess what I was, just a little bit more explanation.
It'll be like that time when Rem saved the world from Jules Bot, but nobody knew about it.
Yeah.
It'll be exactly like that.
Exactly.
Yep.
And finally, from Want Game Design, what should we do until the 6.0 event?
Cancel your sub and relax.
No.
Drink a Mai Tai.
Drink a Mai Tai. Spend some time with your friends.
Your family.
Do some old raids.
I'd spend time with your family first and then your friends.
Yeah.
Just cause.
Just cause. Well, and I think that this is a time where you can just decide exactly what it is that you want to do to spend your time. If that means that you just take a break until the time comes for the event, go ahead, do that.
I have to address something in a chat room.
What?
From Bim Shield Spec says, I actually fangirl squeed when I saw Garrosh. What's wrong with me? Bim, nothing. I fangirl squeed as well. I love Garrosh. I'm glad he's back. I saw some spoilers and I'm really disappointed.
Okay, don't spoil anything.
I'm not. I'm just saying I'm really disappointed.
All right.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Well, that is Tell Us One Thing for the night. We have some ones that we held over for next week because we know we have a long show. So there you go.
We're getting timey-wimey in the chat room.
I know, we're totally timey-wimey. So if you want to send over those questions, I ask for them every Thursday on Twitter and Facebook, or you can always send them anytime, but that's when I ask for them. So you can go to questions@torrenthinktank.com if you want to send them to us through our email at torrentthinktank on Twitter and facebook.com/torrentthinktank.
What was that noise?
What was what?
Was that you?
Where's what noise?
I swear to God, I heard my voice.
Rem?
Yeah. That was weird. Okay, Taste Tank time. Ba-boo!
Really?
Yes,
Ba-boo?
That's it. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so
All right.
sorry.
It is time to have some more fun with some Taste Tank that we have from Jen Morton01. Sent us over this fun stuff. Okay. There are 3 things on the docket tonight. This is week 2 of 3. And we've got 3 things. We've got the first thing is called a catch bar from
I should probably get it.
Trinidad and Tobago. It is a candy bar that looks, kind of like your normal candy bar. It says catch on it.
Is that nuts in the letters?
Could be. It looks like crispy rice.
Ooh, I like crispy rice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it says soft caramel, and crisp rice and milk chocolate. So that sounds yummy.
It's got a different language on it.
It's from Trinidad and Tobago. So yeah.
Barra de caramelo suave con arroz inflado y cubierta de chocolate con leche.
Okay.
Speaking.
Your Spanish is really bad. And then we have a bag of Hare's deep dish pizza flavored cheese curls.
Hers.
Hers. That's what these are.
Made famous in an episode of The Office when that girl from Scranton, played by, I don't know, was looking for a bag of Hers, and she was calling the Hers company looking for Hers chips.
I gotcha. And then finally,
Freaking cares.
this has kind of gotten a little bit warm, so this could be really nasty.
Oh, mine's been warm for 3 weeks.
Yeah, I refrigerated it. Jamaican peanut drink, and it says shake gently before opening.
I gotta shake a can? I'm not shaking that. Are you kidding me?
It says shake gently before opening.
Oh.
So we'll open that one third. We'll do that one last.
What is a
How's that?
peanut drink? We're gonna find out tonight.
We are going
on the taste
to
tank.
find out. All right. Here is the catch bar first. Let's do that.
All right, I opened mine already because I thought we were starting,
Okay.
and it smells like chocolate.
It does?
Mhm.
That's good. So this is... Oh, it does. It smells like good chocolate. That's promising.
That's what it looks like. Kind of looks like a Nestle Crunch bar if it wasn't flat.
Yeah. It's the crisp rice on the top. It's kind of cool.
Mhm.
All right, let's give this a roll. Oh, yeah. That's good.
You know what this is? This is a Three Musketeers bar with crisp rice on it.
Yeah. Oh, that's really good.
Mhm.
Yeah. There's no danger on this one. Even from Trinidad and Tobago, it still tastes yummy.
Why you gotta hate on Trinidad and Tobago? Have you ever been there?
Jen Morton said it looks like a turd. That's where the problem is.
This is delicious.
It's really good. Your camera has frozen for me, by the way, so I can't see. I could see you as like flinching in front of me.
Yeah, don't worry. We're good on the stream.
Okay, good. But I can't see your reaction to anything, so this will be kind of interesting. I'll just have
You
to
don't
listen.
need to see my reaction, Jules. You'll hear it.
I will hear it. You eat the microphone.
Very chocolatey,
Okay.
very delicious. That is good.
All right, the next one is going to be the Hers deep dish pizza flavored cheese curls.
Kane has been giving me a problem all night, Jules, and I'm sick of it. You need to talk to him, contradicting everything I say. Okay.
Oh, dude.
What's up?
Open that thing and smell it.
I had pizza tonight. This smells like pizza crust.
Ugh. I don't know.
What, is it gross to you? I don't mind it.
It kind of smells like socks. Are we trying it now?
Yeah, why not?
All right, let's try it now.
They're cheese curls. That's what they look like.
Oh, weird. It tastes like cheesy oregano.
That made me laugh. It does
Oh.
taste like cheesy oregano.
It's so weird. It's like cheesy oregano flavored things, and then there's like the.
I like 'em.
Taste is oregano.
I like them though. You know, I like pizza goldfish too, so these are good.
I don't know.
No disgusting sounds tonight yet.
Dude, these are weird. Ugh.
It's like eating a really cheesy, salty pizza.
I don't know about this.
I like it. I'm
Yeah.
down. I'm gonna finish
Yeah.
these tomorrow. I'm gonna have another one actually. These are good.
Kane's gonna have to try those and see if he likes them because I'm like, oh, I don't know. Yeah, it's like, ugh. It's just, I don't know, cheesy things like these are never been my thing. Because cheese curls are the things that get all over your fingers.
Yeah, cheese dust.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
I like it. We're
You
2
like
for 2
it?
so
Okay.
far. Yep.
All right. So
I'm happy, Rem. Not for
and
long.
now we get to try. This could either be really, really good or really, really
I
bad.
feel like I'm gonna throw up already.
This is Jamaican peanut drink. And it's
Wish
made
Fit was
with
here.
water, sugar, milk, peanut butter, corn syrup, partially hydrogenated coconut oil, and then all this other stuff. All right. Let's see. Oh, it opens like a can.
How's it supposed to open?
Oh, that is peanutty.
Oh, it smells like peanut butter.
It does smell like peanut butter, which I love. Oh, please be good. Please be good. Okay, you ready?
At least it doesn't smell like coconut.
All right, here we go.
All right, ready? What, 3, 2, oh. Jules?
Hmm?
Jules, your camera froze.
It did.
Oh, no.
I'm here.
I know you're here, but your camera froze, so the chat room's going to miss it.
All right.
That's okay. I don't know what we can do now. It's all right.
It'll come back. It
It'll
always
come back.
usually does.
Guys, you can watch the stream on YouTube. Oh, you're back.
Okay, am I good?
Yeah.
All right, ready?
I am ready. Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Ooh.
Oh, that's not bad.
Ugh.
Okay, you don't like it.
I'm reaching for the bucket. Oh,
Really?
oh, it was thick and gross.
I mean, it's like so it's just like a milky peanutty thing. Yeah, you okay? No.
You got to drink it again.
I don't mind this.
I'm not drinking it again.
I don't mind this though.
Oh, I wish Fit was here to try this.
This is not bad at all. What are you talking about?
It's disgusting.
Did you shake it?
I shook it gently, just like it said.
Oh, it's not bad.
Ugh.
No. Did you do it? Did you drink it again?
I'm going to.
Oh no, he's like flailing. He's
Ugh.
Kermit flailing right now. Oh, you could totally mix with this ice cream. This is good.
My God, that's terrible.
No, it's not.
It's not better the second time, Jen Morton. It was
Oh,
worse.
it's not bad at all. You're just a big baby.
Ugh.
You should have refrigerated that though.
No, why would I refrigerate it?
To make it so it doesn't taste like ass.
Well, then it's not fun.
It's not that bad.
Oh,
You're such a big baby.
that was
Oh.
gross. Wow,
I thought it
that was
okay.
worse than coconut drink.
Really?
I
Oh,
almost
gosh,
literally threw
no.
up the first time.
Yeah. See, Jen, put this with some ice cream and this would be awesome. I think that would be great. I need to refrigerate it though.
Yes, it is worse than coconut water.
Oh, you're such a big baby. Okay. Yes, that was from 2020 site, by the way. You said put it with ice cream.
What
And,
color is it? You should pour it out.
It's white.
Ah!
Or it's like it looks like it may be like tan.
Oh, I'm burping it up. It's disgusting.
I know. Oh, that's true. Okay. All right. Go play the feedback bumper. We'll get out of here soon. You can go barf.
Oh, fine.
Any day now.
Oh, it doesn't want to play. Oh, I moved it. That's why. I have to.
Oh, play it anytime now.
Yeah, hold on. Where was it? 140, 11. I'll put it in after. I forgot. I moved it. Okay. Go.
Okay. So feedback from Torrance. Hey, Rem and Jules. Last week on episode 110, you guys were talking about nostalgia for the old days. But for me, it was a little different. Stop tearing stuff up. I can hear you.
Sorry. I was eating the catch bar.
I started Lake Cata and was brought in by my real life friends, joined their guild, and by the time I was 85, they had stopped playing due to real life things. So when I think back to those old days, all I think is doing dungeons and PvP by myself and not even knowing what raiding was. My guild reformed for Mists, and I even pulled my fiance into WoW, and we both love it. I hope this email doesn't come off as angry at those guild mates, because even though I was alone, I was having a good time exploring for the Explorer title, doing quests for Lore Master, and working towards a long, strange trip. Thanks from Torrance, a Tauren druid on the ENR server.
I hope the audience appreciates what we do for them.
Uh,
Oh, I feel so
Wait till next week. We have sriracha peas on the menu.
I'd rather eat those.
I know. We've got I hate peas, by the way.
I know you do. It's great. From Jojo Tim, episode 110. Oh, wait, at Torn Think Tank, episode 110. When it comes to finding friends and teammates in game, I use the jerkometer, not the ageometer.
This is in relation to our advice question about age and who to play with, all that kind of thing. And I think that is a really good way. If the person's a jerk, it doesn't matter what age they are at all.
Mm-hmm.
Boy,
That's
there
right.
are some jerks in the game. I've seen them recently, and it's not fun.
You think times like this breed more jerks?
Um, that's actually a really good question, and we can get into that in another show. But I think that my brief answer to that is that people who don't know how to handle their emotions tend to become jerks in public because that's the only way that they know how to handle it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's my thought. So.
Jules, this next one is a feedback.
Yeah, I just thought we would bring it up because I think people have mentioned it once or twice in the feedback. It's Korath said, "Is it just me, or has Jules been quieter than Rem for the past few podcasts?"
Well, here's what's happening: is that Jules is suffering from a degenerative throat condition called degenerative throatitis, and it makes her have a hard time talking loud, so she has to stay quiet for the past.
No.
So if we want to save Jules's voice for podcasting, she needs to talk quietly.
You're so crazy. No, it's just we've been doing some things a little bit differently with our post processing, and I think that we're still trying to tweak it to make it right. So that's why
We're sorry.
we're sorry. We're trying to make it better. It's a balance between trying to keep the audio with two different tracks, or we do it in one track and possibly have some technical issues. So sucks.
Yes.
So sorry, guys.
From Tanuk, who is also our friend Sergeant Jim Beverly, just listened to Torn Think Tank number 79 with Scott Johnson for the hell of it. Scott, Jules, Rem, love you guys. So grateful for all you've done. Thank you.
That was awesome from Jim, and Scott actually replied to that tweet, by the way, and said that he loves us too. So
We should have him back.
we should. It was a great time having him here, and I think that I'd love to do that again.
Yes.
We'll have to work on that. Got to work on some other guests too. It's about time for that.
That's right. That would be fun. Guys, if you want to send, feedback. What am I doing?
I don't know.
I don't know. Guys, I don't know what I'm doing. Slash
You're
mood
messed
you
up.
guys. Slash mood everybody. Let's do some slash moves. Hit it, Jules.
From Disney Girl 85 slash moo to my new friend Averin for being there when I needed someone to talk to.
That's awesome. From Tour Arts, slash moo to at Arcane Mage. Why? For some advice he gave me at the Minnesota meetup. Long overdue, thanks to you, sir.
I just want to tack one thing onto that one,
Okay.
just real quick. This was a situation, and Tour Arts actually explained to me what happened, and I won't go into the details because that's private. But what it was amazing to hear was that one little kind of almost throwaway comment was in a conversation that we were having about the show, was something that was really, really positively life-changing for her. And I've realized that people have said that to me in the past. So, like, you don't even maybe realize that something you said maybe made it so much better for someone. And this has happened numerous times. And I've got to thank you guys for the opportunity to do that, because I know Rem has had it where people have said, Rem, you said this and it changed my life. And you're like, I didn't even think I said anything poignant there. But it's a gift that we've been given, is your trust. And I can't thank you guys enough for that. So to hear that again, and to know that Tour Arts is appreciative of something that Arcane said to her at the Minnesota meetup, which he really did believe was a throwaway comment. Unbelievable. So thank you guys so much. Okay.
He's not that bad. I'm just kidding. I like
You're
the
so mean to
keys.
him. From what I did there, slash moo to at wizards_DND for having the new D&D starter box set printed in the USA. This kind of thing should be encouraged.
From Arlena Hunter, excuse me, my gosh, it's a peanut drink. A bittersweet slash mood goes out to my sister Christine, who lost her battle with cancer this morning. You will be missed. We are so sorry for your loss.
Oh, Arlena, I'm so sorry. My thoughts are with you and your family. Cancer sucks. And from Medros, slash moo to the Blizzard cinematic team for an awesome cinematic.
And slash move to my guildies, Blockhead and Black Death, for taking up the raid challenge and learning to tank and heal one step closer to Garage. From Birdie, the Kieran Tour, and the Honor-Bound Guild.
There you go. Awesome. Slash moves are done.
Slash move, you guys. Slash moves for people who you think are awesome or well deserving of something cool. So go ahead, send us in to us. Questions at tornthinktank.com, at tornthinktank for your slash moves. It's generally the day of the show when Jules asks for them on Twitter. So
Yes.
if you're looking, that's when it happens. Looks like we got an iTunes review this week. Thank you, Centrifuge, for your wonderful. See, that peanut drink screwed
It
me up.
messed you up.
Your wonderful review. Guys, you can subscribe to us on iTunes. Give us a rating. Give us a review. 5 stars, 4 stars, That's about it. You can find us on Stitcher. Thumbs up us on Stitcher. You can also leave us a review on Stitcher. That would be awesome. We can also be found in the BlackBerry podcast directory and, of course, the Xbox podcast directory.
Yes.
So while you're playing Diablo on your Xbox, you can be listening to Triple T. I don't know why.
Well, as you're killing demons, why not listen to some heavy discussion or listen to Rem barf into the microphone?
Yes, as I try to devour my microphone as I try to barf at the same time. Jules,
Rem,
what's going on with you this week?
We've got another episode of that TV show and another episode of I Remembered It Better. We've been having fun on both shows. So if you get a chance to take a listen to either one, so appreciate everyone who has let me know that they're listening. 2 different shows, 2 different topics, but a lot of fun in both. So, and they're both on the Signals Media All-Star Network. So check those out. How about you?
Well, if you're interested in that sort of thing, we did a liquor fueled last night. Fit came over, Hulhauser was with us, and so was Jen. And we had a good time. MacGyver called in. I don't know. You probably don't want to listen to this one, but we had fun. So that's good.
We got to hear MacGyver swear. Kate had it on next to me as I was doing stuff. And I'm like, oh, it's MacGyver, and he's swearing.
Yes, and MacGyver was forceful with us and told us to shut up so he could drink his beer. That actually happened, yes.
That was quite good.
Also, I got my hands on a Short Circuit 2 commentary track recorded by myself, John Jagger, and Ben Bumhofer of Azeroth Roundtable. I will be releasing that, later this week. Give you enough time to get to Liquor Fueled if you want to listen to it. What it is a commentary track that you play while watching the movie Short Circuit 2, and you can listen to us talk about it. Should be fun. I had fun recording it. So look for that. I'll keep you guys informed. Pay attention to me on the Twitter if you want. You don't have to. But stormredcast.libsyn.com is where all the shenanigans and antics are happening. I don't know, Jules. I think I got to drink this thing one more time.
Oh my gosh, really? You really are going to do it. You really hate yourself tonight.
I couldn't swallow it that time.
Good Lord, dude. Okay, it's time to go. It's time for us to go now before you drink more.
Oh man, that is terrible. I don't know how you do it.
I like it.
Let's bring this baby home.
Let's do it. Tauren Think Tank is a proud member of the Signals Media All-Star Network. Find out more about the other great shows in the network by going to signalsmedia.com.
You can find you can find us outside of the show on our website, torrenthinktank.com, which has all of our podcasts and information on how to get in touch with us. There's also a donate button on the site, so if you like what we do and would like to support our show by sending us a donation, that's a great way to do it.
You can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/TaurenThinkTank. You can find us on Twitter for the show at Tauren Think Tank. You can find Rem at Remgar, REMGHAR, and me, Jules, at Jules RPG. And you can also chat with us and other members of the Moo Crew on our forums. Give those boards some love at forums.signalsmedia.com.
So like if you took peanut butter and mixed it with milk and made it like kind of milky but a little bit thick, that's probably what this tastes like.
That's not bad.
It's a texture thing I have a problem with.
So weird.
Why am I weird? It's texturally bad.
Move on.
Special thanks to Arcane of some sort for his voiceover work and chat room wrangling, and to you guys for coming out and hanging with us and being cool. Don't forget your triple t-shirts at slashloot.com. There are 3 designs to choose from in different shirt colors. Show your moo pride to all your friends, neighbors, and co-workers. Well, maybe not all your co-workers, but I don't know. Go for it, because that's awesome. Thank you, everyone, for being with us tonight. We are here generally Saturday nights at 10 o'clock Eastern Time at twitch.tv/TaurenThinkTank. If you have not experienced our chat room in the past, you should, because our chat room is pretty awesome. Thank you guys for your lovely discussions during our discussion today. It's always nice to see you guys talking about what we're talking about and expanding upon it, because you guys are awesome. And of course, if you can't make it to the chat room, you can always download us and listen to us on a podcast. And we know you're listening to us right about now. Jules.
Rem.
Any last words?
Thank you all for being here tonight with us. Thank you, chat room, for being so wonderful during our discussion, having fun with us, and thinking with us. We'll see you next week.
That's right. So for Jules, for Arcane, for everybody in our chat room who is awesome, and for me, until next time, /moo everybody.
/moo.
Tauren Think Tank. We make your problems less bad.
This podcast is a part of the Signals Media All-Star Network. For more information on this and other fine shows, go to signalsmedia.com. It's okay to stick our stuff in your ears. Really?
Really?
Masha!
It's gonna be another 2-hour show. Good Lord.
Mm.
Good
Wow.
Lord.
What are you talking about? We did well.
Yeah, we did. I was like, oh my God, this show's gonna be super long.
Oh my god. I'm stopping my recording now.
Okay, me too.
No, I'm saving my recording.
I hope I made sense tonight. I am this close to getting a migraine. Like this close.
Oh, let it happen.
Oh, I've been fighting it the whole damn time, and as soon as I
Don't
stop,
let it happen. I'm just teasing. Don't let it happen.
as soon as I stop, I'm gonna get one. I just know it. So I know that my brain was not quite where it should have been tonight, and I'm like, come on, just get the words out. Get the words out. Get the words out. Please get the words out. Hate that, because otherwise your brain starts going, whoa.
This stuff is so gross.
Yes. Oh, it is kind of gross. I gotta agree.
Who drinks peanut drink?
It's good. I like it. I'm gonna drink it right now.
No, you're not. Oh my god, you're gross. You're so disgusting.
It's Jamaican peanuts. It's not bad. Yeah, I'm gonna take my medication when I get off, and because I'm probably gonna get it. If it doesn't hit me before I go to bed, it's gonna hit me tonight.
No.
It's been one of those things. So.
Zug would suggest booze and a hammer.
Well, it works. I think a Catch bar might help. There's some chocolate. There's chocolate. No, there's caffeine in chocolate. Is what I was trying to say.
You know what I had before the show? I had Fireball whiskey mixed with orange juice.
Really?
It was delicious.
We
It was
just
like
got a big old
tank-
bottle of Fireball too.
You did?
Mhm.
It's awesome, right?
I was drinking it while you guys were drinking it last night.
Were you really?
I can't sip that stuff though. It burns my stomach.
Well, you can't
I have
drink
to
too
shoot
much of
it.
Yeah, you got to shoot it or mix it.
You got to shoot it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good with orange juice and good with ginger ale too. Yep. That was something else last night.
How late did you guys go?
Oh, we ended about like at like 11:38 because I had to work the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean normally Fitz stays at my house like 2 a.m.
Yeah, but you had to get.
Yeah, I had to kick him out because I had to go to bed. Yeah, no, well, it was fun.
Oh, Jen, did you have vanilla ice cream? I don't have vanilla ice cream in the house. I need to get some of that stuff. I'm gonna probably save this, put this in the fridge, put like a cover on it, and just get that in there. Sounds really good.
What do you love, Zeph?
And thank
Orange
you
juice
for the
and-
migraine things. I hope I don't get one.
I hope you don't either. That's terrible.
We started doing the show, and it started coming, and I'm like, oh, and if I stay occupied, if I stay focused, if I stay occupied, I can ward it off. You can see I'm starting to slur. So, but as soon as I stop is when it starts to come back or come around. So you can't. It's just an avoidance technique. If I keep going, I'm fine. But at some point, you got to stop.
Mm-hmm.
At some point, you got to stop moving.
Some point you gotta stop moving and face the music.
So, yeah, and I remembered it better the other night. We were recording a show, and I don't know what we were talking about, who we were talking about. But the way we record the show is we do a story, and then we just do a little bit of there's a lull, and maybe we'll just chat between it, and then we pick up the next story. And sometimes we talk in between the stories. And Cliff, Revan Geek, we talked about somebody, I can't remember who it is now, but it was somebody who was a big jerk. And he was like, so he started singing, he's a dick, he's a dick, he's a big, big dick, he's a big, 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 big dick. And I'm like, whoa! So, this is Revan Geek who's doing this.
That's hilarious.
So we started singing that like through every break. So I'm sure it's going to be in the outtakes for this episode. It'd be quite funny to listen to that.
Fudge, I forgot to ask for it on the show.
Wow.
I want to find somebody who does music again. I got
Oh.
I got inspired
You
today.
got inspiration?
Yeah.
Start tweeting it. I can retweet it on the Triple T one.
All right, I'll tweet something.
You can tweet it.
I need like my guy who wrote my last song. I mean, he wrote the music for it.
Yeah, and he's not doing it anymore.
I don't know. He disappeared, and I don't want to bother Zug because he's busy.
Well, you're saying that as he's sitting in our chat room talking right now.
Oh, is he still here?
Yeah, he's still here.
Oh, I had no idea.
There's a CTR tomorrow too. His computer's working, which means that there'll be a show.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
I just need to sit down with somebody and start putting some Pro Tools together. You know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, Fit plays guitars, and it's but
Is it another rap song?
It's possibly. I don't know what it is yet. I think the only thing I can do is rap because I can't sing.
So you just need a music backer track.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you guys know somebody,
Hook them up.
who knows Pro Tools and all that stuff,
Hook them up.
let me know. I'll give them credit. I can't pay them any money because we have none, but I will definitely promote the SHIT out of them
All the promotions.
because we have a massive audience of like 6 million people. It's crazy.
Oh God. So just a total aside, but Garrus is in the room with me, and he's been here since we started the show. And this is what he does. He's behind me right now.